Good evening, everyone. This is the Activated One, New Brighton, breaking it down and decoding the Avengers Affinity Stone movie. Now, I'm going to get straight to the point. At the beginning of the movie, Thanos, they have found Thor in their spaceship, because in the last Thor movie, Thor's spaceship had left his planet because his planet got destroyed. So Thanos ended up finding Thor and Loki. What did he do? He invaded the spaceship. Now at the beginning of the movie, now you notice that whenever Thanos was fighting the strongest beings on the planet, what did he have on? He had on a gold armor suit. He had the gold suit on. One of the main elements to travel through space is gold. That's why he had the gold suit on. He had the gold suit on because he knew he had to go against Thor, and he knew he had to go against the Hulk. He already knew that. He knew he had to go against Thor and Hulk, so that's why he had the gold suit on. And when you see him in future, and the next movie, when he's going against them again, he has the gold suit on again. That's why he wore the gold suit, because he knew he needed protection of his body when he went against Thor and when he went against the Hulk. Then I got the movie playing, so I had to turn it down a little bit. Then who was Thor representing? Thor was representing the electrified ones, the electricity. That's who Thor was he always represented the electricity. That was Thor. So at the beginning of the movie, what happened when they was on the ship, right? Now remember, the so-called black guy that was controlling the bi-thrust, he was on the ground. And when Thanos, right before Thanos killed him, what did he do? He sent the Hawk to Earth to warn Earth. But why didn't he send Thor? You should have sent Thor to save Earth. That was portraying that some of these cats in the so-called black race, 2/3 of them, he sent the beast. Hawk was the beast. He sent the beast for the help. He was looking for the beast for help. That's why he sent the Hawk. He didn't send Thor. He was supposed to send Thor to Earth. He sent the Hawk to Earth. They put all this stuff in the movies because they showing you. They showing you this is how a lot of these simple-minded Negroes think. He sent the Hawk. He sent the beast. He was supposed to send Thor to Earth and warn Earth, but he sent the Hawk. That's what that was portraying in the movie. And then what happened to him? Thanos killed him. As soon as he sent the Hawk, what did Thanos do? He killed him with the staff. All right, give me one sec. The movie's so damn long. All right. Then when Thanos was moving around on these planets, what spaceship was he using? He was using the big circle spaceship. That was portraying he was trying to control the minds. He was trying to be the Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Ring, the circle mind frame. That's why they had the circle ship. The circle ship when he was flying, when he came to Earth, and you had seen when the Wizards was talking with Iron Man. Iron Man had came outside. What did he see? He saw the big circle because Thanos was controlling. That was symbolic to controlling the circular mind frames. to keep people in that eight and keep people in that eight or that circle. That's why Thanos was moving around with the circle. He was looking for the Infinity Stones, but they were still portraying the controlling of the mind frame, the controlling of the sheeple, the circle, the circular mind frame. That's why they had the ship like that as a circle in the movie. All right, I'm just going through the movie right now. Give me a sec. This movie's so long. All right. And then dealing with the Infinity Stones, right? What Infinity Stone was the hardest stone to get? The hardest Infinity Stone to get was the Mind Stone. I keep telling y'all it's mental. They put all this stuff in the movies to let you know that everything is mental. It's a mental war. When your mind starts accelerating and being activated, it starts moving, at 144 hertz a second, then they have to slow you back down. Some way they slow you back down. That's why the Mind Stone was the hardest stone to get. All the other stones, they were hard to get, but at the end you notice that the Mind Stone was the hardest stone to get because everything is mental. That's why they portrayed that in the movie as the Mind Stone being the hardest stone. Thanos didn't get the Mind Stone until the end of the movie, when he was messing with the one Avenger that had the Mind Stone in his head. That's why he had it in his head. He had it in his forehead because the Mind Stone was representing the fourth dimension. That's where the next everything's coming from, the fourth dimension. That's why he had the Mind Stone in his forehead. Because you got some people out here with the mark of the beast, and then you're going to have some people out here with the mark of the four. That's why it was the Mind Stone. That's why it was embedded in his head. All right. Hold up. Then when Thanos had to go get, I forgot what stone it was called, but when Thanos took his daughter, right, and it was the Soul Stone, had to go get the Soul Stone. When Thanos took his daughter to that mountaintop, and they had met that wizard guy, and they were had to get the Soul Stone. What he had to do, he had to sacrifice his own daughter just to get the Soul Stone. That was portraying that in order for you to, the ones that are in the future, because some of y'all are in the future, but you fade away eventually. You fade away. You're not a billion years in the future. That was portraying that there's going to be certain people in your family, certain friends, certain people, they're not going to be mentally extended like you're going to be mentally extended. That's why he had to sacrifice. That was saying that he was sacrificing his own daughter, his own family, his bloodline. He had to sacrifice, and like I said, everything's mental. He had to. I'm flipping it to a mental state because this is what I'm trying to put. Because when you do these videos, people's minds processors, they can't process a lot of this stuff, because the reason why they can't do it is because they fade away in the future at one time. They come back, but they're not, a billion, 2-3 billion years in the future. That's why they can't process this. They can't process it in their mind frame. So that's what they was portraying in a movie, that you have to sacrifice your own family because they're not in the future. That's what that was portraying when Thanos threw her off the cliff, and he got the Soul Stone, because the soul, you have to sacrifice to save your own soul. That's what they were portraying in the movie, because all this stuff is being projected down and transmitted to show you how to get to get the right ones into the future. That's why he had to sacrifice his daughter to get the soul stone. Give me one sec. This movie's so long. And then when you get to Wakanda, Wakanda's portraying the future. It's not gonna be the black race. The black race, they fade away in the future with all the other races because they're not the original ones. I got all these clones out here. They fade away. I'm guesstimating maybe in 3,000 years, there ain't gonna be no more blacks. There ain't gonna be no more whites. All that's gonna fade away. So when people represent that right now, I look at them as clones. They're zombies because all that's gonna fade away. I'm guesstimating in about 3 to 4,000 years, ain't gonna be no black race. Ain't gonna be no white race. You see what I'm saying? All this stuff is being portrayed to you. So when they went to Wakanda, they were showing, because in Wakanda, you seen they had the technology. They had the technology. They had to go to Wakanda. Wakanda had to save them. And that's what's going on today on this planet. When you have the electrified ones that are being electrified, that are supposed to move the planet forward, and then you got people that don't want to put us in our position to move the planet forward. That's one reason why y'all are on quarantine right now. That's one. Because, all right, Thanos, I'm just going through the movie real quick. And then back to Thor. You dealing with Thor. Thor was the electrified one. He had to go get the hammer. He had to go get his hammer made. And who was the only one that can pick up the hammer? Groot. Groot was representing the nature. The nature, getting back to the nature of things. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, everything's mental. So Groot was the only one that could pick up the hammer. Nobody else could pick up the hammer but Groot in the Infinity one. Because Captain America picked it up in the end game, but Groot was the only one to pick up. That was all symbolic. That was all symbolic to the naturalism, being back natural. Like I was telling in my other video, it's gonna be to a point where especially a lot of women that's having these babies, they got to keep their hair natural. They don't understand how precious that is to the future. The ones that do, they're gonna have the future seeds, and then the other ones that don't, they're gonna fade away. All right, I'm just going through this real quick. Not not trying to do this long. Then the scene where they came back to Thanos' old planet, and you had Spider-Man, you had the Wizard, and they were all you had the uh I forgot the Rogers cat, him and Gamora and all them were there plotting on. Well, Gamora wasn't there, but they was all plotting on, a plan to stop Thanos. And what did the Wizard do? The Wizard was in the background, going into the future. The Wizard was going into the future with the Time Stone. He was going into the future with the Time Stone. And then how many battles did they say that they won? They only won one battle out of millions of battles. That's all symbolic into the people, the ones that's on the planet right now. We're seeing into the future. We're seeing the futuristic how it's playing out. That's what that was representing in the movie. When the Wizard he was snapping out and he was counting the future. All right, that's Gamora. Did that. All right, Wakanda. Yeah, back to Wakanda. That's just basically they're just showing you that the future ones are bronze people. That's why they showed you the one Wakanda. The Wakanda, they had to go to Wakanda. They had to get the technology. The Wakanda was the only ones that had the technology that had. They were taking the mind stone out of the one Avenger's head. They had the technology to take it out. They were hurry up trying to take it out so they could destroy it before Thanos got it. That's all portraying the future with the technology. That was all portraying the future with the technology. With showing you the future. They showing you how it's going to be in the future. They just use Wakanda because they're not going to use nothing else, but they're going to always use Africa. They're always going to go back to Africa because that's the only thing they have left is African and black. That's the only thing they can hold on is African and black. Because that's not even in the future. Both of them are finished. All right. And then I went through that already. Went through that. And then in Wakanda, when Thor got the axe, they were finna lose the battle. You see them? You see all Thanos's beast soldiers was all on the Avengers. What happened when Thor came back? Thor was the electricity, the elect. Thor came back and then he was getting everybody off of them. They was getting you can't move this place forward without the elect. So that's what that was portrayed in the movie. That's why when Thor came back with electricity, what did Bruce Banner say? He said something like, you guys are screwed now. Yeah, for real. That's what Thor came back with the hammer and he threw the hammer and the hammer started spinning and knocking people everywhere. And then boom, what'd he do? That electricity. Then the Mind Stone. The Mind Stone was the hardest stone at the end of the movie where he had to get the Mind Stone, but he needed the Time Stone to get the Mind Stone. So he needed the Future Stone because the wizard was looking into the future, so he needed that stone to get the Mind Stone. And see, Thanos knew that. Thanos knew that the one Avenger, the chick with the fire in her hands, he knew that she was too strong. He knew she was too strong, so he knew he had to. That's why he stopped going for the Mind Stone because the mind's always going to be the strongest thing. So that's why Thanos didn't go for the Mind Stone after that. He went for the Time Stone first, and then what happened? She blew up the Mind Stone, and then he turned time back and got the Mind Stone with the Time Stone. See, Thanos knew all this because Thanos is a thinker. Then at the end of the movie, I'm gonna finish it off with this. At the end of the movie, oh, my fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. I got a laptop and two phones right now. And then I'm gonna finish it off with this. Then at the end of the movie, hold up. At the end of the movie, what did Thor do? When Thor came back, Thor had the hammer, and what did he do? He threw it at Thanos and it hit him in his chest. What did Thanos say to him? You should have went for the head. That's all mental. Everything's all mental. He was telling you should have went for the head. And that's why Thanos snapped his finger and boom. And then everybody started to fade away. And when they show the ones the ones that didn't fade away is the ones that Thanos had favoritism for. All the ones Thanos had favoritism for, they didn't fade away. And then you notice that the Black Panther faded away. That's all symbolic to telling you that in the future there's not going to be no black people in the future because black is a mentality. That's why he faded. That's why he faded away. Black's a mentality. Everybody he had favoritism for. When he told Gamora's boyfriend when he had Gamora, and he was trying to take her to go get the Soul Stone. What did she tell her boyfriend? She told her boyfriend, "Kill me if we lose. If he tries to snatch me up, kill me." What'd he do? Pull the trigger. It was Bubbles. That was all symbolic. That because Thanos liked it him. So when Thanos snapped his finger, that's the wrong reason why he didn't fade away. Because everybody he had favoritism didn't fade. Tony Stark didn't fade away. Thor didn't fade away. But you notice that the Black Panther fade away. That this is all symbolic. But yeah, that's just decoding. I might do another one. This was just real quick. The Avengers Infinity Wars. This the activated one, New Brighton. Good night.